Welcome. This is a business show. I want to welcome you to this business show that's here to inspire and encourage the entrepreneur in all of us. The promise of this show is to introduce you to expert guests who will help you uncover the secrets of living with F.A.V.O.R. F.A.V.O.R is an acronym for the 5 pillars of my business over the last 40 years. Yeah, I did say 40 years. Over the last 40 years, these were the pillars that kind of showed up, and they are faith, abundance, vitality, overflow, and relationships. Welcome to Living with F.A.V.O.R. I'm Lisa Mosbey, your host, and I want to thank you for tuning in and letting me offer a little bit of advice on the benefits of business and why we should all be in business. And if you aren't, how can we help you get there? This month, we are exploring the word vitality. If you checked out the first episode of the month, I gave you my definition and kind of my frame of reference. But every week we're having these guest experts, and today is no different. Today I have certified health coach Kari Woodson. Kari has walked her own journey from breast cancer to wellness. And I say walk because she walks every single day. It's going to be the first question I ask her about. But she's a mom to triplet girls who are all grown up and they're leaving their marks on the world. Kari is a Minnesota girl, just like me. And today we're coming from you from coast to coast. She's in California. I'm here in Florida. So we're giving you a big old hug, wrapping both of our arms around you as we share and explore this concept of vitality. Welcome, Kari. Thanks for being with me today.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. I said I was going to ask you first, and you didn't know this. I'm sneaking this one in. The walking story. Can you shed light on this? Because it's an inspiration to me. And Kari and I actually had a chance to meet in Minnesota, and she walked from where she was staying, and I drove from where I was staying to have coffee. And when she shared this story with me, she's in the back of my mind every single time I go for a walk. And tell me like a little bit about how you got started in this walking every day. How many days has it been?
Yeah, it's almost 1,200 days. It probably will be 1,200 by the time we hear this episode. But yeah, I started back in May of 2020. And of course, we were in the middle of COVID, and I just wanted to get outside and walk. I was walking probably 5,000 steps a day, but there was a challenge from, I believe, the American Heart Association to walk 10,000 steps a day for 30 days. So I thought, why not? And so I did that. And then I achieved that. And I thought, well, I'm just going to keep going. So I kept going. And for a full year, I walked at least 10,000 steps a day. And then after I did it a year, I upped it to 11,000. So now I continue walking at least 11,000 steps a day. It makes me feel better. I usually do it in the morning. It gives me a chance to kind of plan my day, clear my head, just get outside and enjoy the beautiful sunshine or whatever. Although I do walk even when it's snowing, if I go back to Minnesota in the middle of winter. So I walk every day, no matter the weather. And it's just a way of helping keep myself healthy.
How long does it take to walk 11,000 steps in a day?
I usually put in about anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour in the morning, depending on how much time I have. But even if I walk an hour, that's probably about 7,500 steps. And so I still need to walk throughout the day. I actually set an alarm on my phone to force myself to get up from my desk and walk 250 steps every hour, because then that adds up. But it also just gets me up out of my desk and, kind of gives you a little more energy and alertness and all of that.
I didn't know about that piece of it, but I love that idea. Yeah. I do have a dinger on my phone or on my computer that goes ding at the top of the hour every hour that I'm sitting here to remind me stretch or do some yoga. I have a friend who we had her on here. Her name is Poppy, and she does desk yoga, chair yoga, office yoga for people so that you can do some stretching. But I like it. I need to get up. I like that idea. When I hear that ding, just get up and march in place or something, just get the blood flowing. But
exactly.
What kind of benefits have you noticed? Like, I'm sure that there's some, maybe not intentional, like you said, you didn't plan to walk for 1,200 days, but little by little, I'm sure that you've noticed like drastic improvement in something. What kinds of things showed up for you after this long time of doing this?
I guess I feel healthier. Like I rarely get sick, just because I'm
Interesting.
doing something, healthy for myself. But you have to eat healthy as well as, exercising, because you can't really out exercise a bad eating habit, right? And so it all kind of comes together. But I think doing that makes you want to be healthier in other areas as well. And so I feel I do incorporate some other things. I jump rope, I do some squats and push-ups and things like that. But all of that helps me feel stronger, more vibrant, just healthier all around.
Yeah. In the book, The Blue Zones, one of the things that was in common with most of those people is they walked and they were outside. Like it was consistent across blue zones all the way across America. Anyway, so we're kind of off the sidetrack. I want to talk about vitality, but I'm sure that this is tied into your definition. How would you describe the word vitality for you? What does that look like?
Well, for me, I guess vitality is just feeling healthy and capable and energetic. Um, I mean, really, our health is so important. You've heard it said, your health is your wealth. And, if you don't have your health, I mean, if you're unhealthy, if you're unwell, you actually spend a lot of energy and probably money too, trying to get well, to get healthy. So I think it's, vitality is just that kind of state of feeling healthy and energetic and able to go out and do things.
Yeah. So many of our paths in business come from trauma or resiliency or overcoming things that have happened. And as I shared in the intro, your walk to wellness was a journey from breast cancer to wellness. And I use that word walk because it ties it together. I think that that's something that clears the mind. And I hear of people who go run a marathon and they start training for it, and all of a sudden disease disappears from their body. So there's this connection between getting physical and mental health and how that brings about vitality, both in the mind and the body. It was your health journey, your health challenges. Was that the reason that you do what you do today? Were there other factors involved? Because I know you have a pretty powerful, big background in the law. So,
Yeah.
going from law to the solopreneur, how did that transition happen for you?
Well, I mean, so I actually am a retired attorney, and
Yeah.
I really got into that field just out of college and law school because I wanted to help people. Like that was I love people. I love being around people, and I wanted to be able to help them. So that was why I got into law originally. But I kind of transitioned to health and wellness, really, as a result of my own journey through breast cancer. So I did start walking before I was diagnosed. But no, I take that back. I did walk a little bit, but the longer walking, I guess, was post breast cancer.
Okay.
But I thought I was healthy. I mean, I ate mostly healthy. I exercised probably more occasionally then, but I mean, I've run marathons, I've run other races. I thought I was a healthy person, and then to be told I have breast cancer was kind of a shock. And so as a result of that, I just really wanted to, learn as much as I could about how I could be healthier, right? Because you think you're healthy and maybe you're not. And just really wanting to share that knowledge with others. So my goal now is still helping others, but encouraging others in their own health and wellness journey, and really empowering people to live their healthiest life.
Yeah. And you went back to school, became a certified health coach, and then I understand you partner with a direct sales company and chose them because of their products. Tell us
Yeah.
about that. What did you have to do? This is a business show, so we're incorporating vitality into our mind, body, spirit, and our business. So as
Yeah.
you chose health as your means of impacting the world, and then partnering with the direct sales network marketing companies. How did you narrow it down? Like, how did you find something that was in alignment with your core values? Like, maybe I'm giving away too much here, but
Yeah.
that's
Well,
what it comes down
for
to.
me, I actually use these products. So I I don't know, do you want me to talk about what company it is? I mean, I partner with,
Yeah,
with
you're more than welcome to. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's Arbonne, it's health and wellness products, but these are, I actually started using them long before I did it as a business. So I was using these products and I loved them. I mostly was using their skincare and personal wellness products, not necessarily their nutrition products, but I got into it as a business because I had, at that time, my triplet daughters were in high school. I was really the sole, I mean, I got child support from their father, but, you know, I was supporting them. Anything extra that they wanted to do was really my responsibility. And I didn't want to say no to my kids, you know, for trying different things. And so I needed a few extra $100 a month. And so my sponsor in that company suggested, why don't you just, you know, do this as a business? So I thought, okay, why not? Because I was still working full time,
Right.
not practicing law at that point, but working in the corporate world. And so I got into it really to help my kids, you know, just to have extra money. But I chose that. And I did look at some other things, you know, other options at the time. But for me, that was important because I believed in the products and I loved that they're, you know, vegan, gluten-free. I mean, it aligned with my values too, that I wanted to share with people. So that's how I really got into that.
And how many years has it been for you? You've been with
So I've been, I would say, dabbling in it.
Yeah.
As a side, you know, a side business for what, 10 years probably.
10 years,
And
and
then
when did it go? When did it become your primary? How long ago?
So when I moved from Minnesota to California about 6 years ago, I decided that I really wanted to focus on this, and my husband, my now husband, was in agreement with that. So that's what I did, and it really was a blessing in disguise because that's within that first year I was diagnosed with breast cancer, and people that deal with health issues like that know that that is almost a full-time job.
It is.
For me, it was definitely because I didn't have any doctors down here. I had to find new doctors. I had to deal with all of that. And so to be able to take the time to do that, you know, from my own business rather than asking time off was really a blessing.
Yeah. You check so many of the boxes why we inspire and encourage. The whole mission here is, I came from that too, you know, starting over in my 50s with, you know, no husband, no income, you know, just like flailing really when you're starting over at such a young age. When the bottom falls out, what do you do? How do you be prepared for that? And so getting started at a young age, not realize, you know, it doesn't have to be a full-time gig, but starting that side gig and, you know, using products that you're going to use anyway, offering them to other people and sharing it. This model is just brilliant. Network marketing, direct sales creates more millionaires than any other solo industry in the world. And so, you know, you don't have to do Arbonne. You don't have to do, you know, any one specific one. There's a choice out there and there's so many varieties for everybody. Get with somebody who aligns with your values and let them educate you on how this can work. Taking it to the next level, you know, is there a higher calling or a greater purpose for you when, you know, now that you've tied kind of your core values with the company, you went back to school because you wanted to educate and really be able to empower people around their health and wellness as a coach, as a certified coach, you know, hanging that shingle on your wall, really knowing what you know so that you can impart that for people. Is there a higher calling that you're connected to? What drives you in your business?
Well, I mean, my goal every day is to serve others. You know, I think it's important that we focus on who we can serve rather than who we can sell to, right? I mean, both in my health coach business and in my Arbonne business, I think we need to really focus on who can we serve, and the money will follow, right? I think you can't just go out there trying to sell people because you really have to build that trust and that relationship, you know, that know, like, and trust factor, right? And so, and I do trust that God will put people in my path who I can help and serve.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty simple,
So
right? Align
yeah.
with your values, align with your core, who you are, and align with who the people are that you want to serve. Find products that can support them on that.
Mhm.
Growth mindset, get educated. Next level would be, how do you manage your business? You're a solopreneur, you work from home. We want to bring people in who might be intimidated by this idea of having a side gig or making a few extra $100 or $1,000 a month for their families. How,
Mhm.
do you make it simple? How easy is it for you to manage, especially since you've partnered with somebody else who creates the products and ships the
Right.
products? You're taking out a whole piece of it that makes it easier. Can you speak a little bit to, like the day-to-day activities of a solopreneur, what kinds of things you do and how do you manage your business?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think it's time management is obviously a very important factor. I mean, I work from home and, there's always distractions, right? There's laundry to do, there's, meals to make. I mean, whatever it is. And I don't have kids at home anymore, but that can be a distraction too. But, you really have to manage your time. You need to have a calendar that you block out time for certain activities. And for me, sometimes it's easier if I'm focusing on, if I'm reaching out to clients or whatever, to focus on one thing that I'm asking, right, at a time. So I'm not trying to figure out what am I calling this person about, and it changes from call to call. So I think that definitely helps. Is just managing your time, whether you time block, whether you schedule it on your calendar, whether you um, you know, just focus on certain activities on certain days, whatever it is. And then um, really, I mean, educating yourself on, especially if you work with a company like I do, what do they provide for you in terms of resources and tools, and using those, right? Because you could make up your own, you could find your own way, but why when somebody has prepared tools for you to use? So I think, you do need to educate yourself and really surround yourself with people that also maybe in the same entrepreneurial space that can help you and support you and encourage you.
Yeah. Coming alongside people that have a similar mission, core values, a
Mhm.
desire to serve, a desire to serve is what kind of comes to mind.
Absolutely.
Yeah. What would
Yeah.
it mean to you if we took it away and you couldn't do it anymore?
If I couldn't do,
Health coaching, we took away your products,
um,
what would that be like? This is kind of the shocker question,
that would be
how,
kind of sad.
it's sad, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
What would you do instead? How would you fill the gap?
Well, I mean, there are other things that I do. I wear many hats, let's put it that way.
Yeah.
I run a local chapter of a networking business mentoring group. So I love doing that. I'm actually the wedding hostess at our church. So that's another little hat that I wear.
Yeah.
But for me, it's connecting with people. And so I mean, I grew up on a farm, a hobby farm in Minnesota, where we sold vegetables. Like, my dad grew vegetables and we sold them at markets. And
Yeah.
I loved connecting with those people, like just the connections that you make, and getting out there and talking to people. And so I guess I would find something to do where I could continue to connect with people and serve people.
Yeah. And that's what I find is that when people are in their, I call it dharma, when people are really like living their purpose and living their purpose and passion, like the gap fills. Like, oh yeah, you know what? That's just one company. That's just one aspect of what I do. I live this life. I live this wellness. I would continue to,
Yeah.
eat the fresh vegetables. I'd continue to walk. I'd continue to serve. And, it may look a little bit differently, but it's that those core values are still there for whatever it is that you do on a day-to-day basis.
Right. Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Is there some piece of advice that you would offer business women that are watching this, whether they've been in business for a while or they're thinking about getting started? From your journey, from your experience, it's been a lot of years now that you've been doing this. Is there a piece of advice that you would want them to take away from our conversation today?
I guess if, particularly if somebody's just getting started, think about what lights you up. What have you learned or been through that you can share that with other people? Because I think, we go through experiences in life, and God wants us to share that with people. That's why we go through some hard things and learn, and then we can share that with others. So I think just even in my breast cancer journey, to be able to share that with people, now as a health coach, and just sharing how you can use healthier products, right? That's important to me because I've learned that myself. But so that would be for people starting out, or adding something to their repertoire, of things that they do. But really also just getting a good business coach, somebody that can help you think outside the box, have a supportive community of people around you. Find people that are good at what you're not good at, because you can delegate some things that don't light you up, right? And concentrate on the things that do. So I think all of that would be advice that I would offer to either somebody just starting in business or somebody that's looking to grow their business too.
Yeah. Ready to expand again. Been around for a while, but just getting a different perspective, getting input from some other people, who knows how that can help you up level, expand your brand and up level. I want to bring this back around to coaching, because we are talking about vitality. Thank you for all of the business wisdom that you've shared with everyone. But coming back before we wrap it up, I want to come back to the idea, how you do health coaching. One of the things that I had participated in was you have an event where you invite people in. I'd love for you to share that with folks, and if they want to, how do they get in touch with you to maybe participate in one of your virtual events?
Absolutely. So yeah, as a health coach starting out, I wanted to get the word out there, and I really just wanted to encourage people. So I do a monthly health talk on Zoom. So it's a virtual health talk every second Thursday of the month. And I do it at 11 a.m. Pacific time, which I guess would be 2 p.m. Eastern time. It's just a half an hour, but I record it. So people that register for it, if they can't make it during that specific time, they would get the recording. But what I do is I talk about, it's only half an hour long, and I talk about some health and wellness, subject. I've talked about exercise, talked about, eating healthy, sleep, how important sleep is, hydrating, getting enough water in the day, taking care of our skin. In August, which may be past by the time this is aired, but talking about what's in your pantry, and how you might stand in front of your pantry and not find anything healthy to eat, right? And how to stock a healthier pantry. So it's just various topics that hopefully will serve other people in their, in living a healthier life. And so that I actually have a website at kariwoodson.com where I have the current month or the next month's health talk where people can register for it.
Excellent. So that'll be in the show notes, both here and on my YouTube channel. It'll be in the show notes. So if you can't find Kari, feel free to reach out to me, and I will make that introduction, make that connection for you. The one that I did was Protein Month, and you had made energy balls, I think is what you called it, or power balls. I think you called it power ball. Yeah. And so you had sent me some protein, and we made these power balls. It was an amazing, simple recipe. Yeah. And they were basically like truffles with health food stuff in them. And I stuck them in the freezer, and it's like just grabbing one or two of those with my coffee became a breakfast replacement for me, because it was full of good things. It tasted good, and it satisfied that morning break of the fast. blast just to, to
Yes.
have something, and you feel good about it. So whenever you
Yeah.
could, I need that quick and easy lunch one. I don't know if you've done quick and easy lunches. What can I have on hand that's already pre-prepared and ready to go? I eat, my call them healthy Lunchables. We don't really want to use,
Yeah.
I don't really want to use Lunchables, but I want something that's that easy.
Right.
Like, open it up and eat it.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. And what you're talking about was actually, I did that in connection with Arbonne and our protein powder. And we actually did, I've done many Zooms, and in person where we make protein balls, so it's just a way of teaching people to make a healthier snack. And yeah, so that was a lot of fun.
That was so much
I
fun.
do
Yeah.
those as well, not on a regular basis, but I do them.
Okay. All right. So the other ones are just kind of the lectures where people can tune in and get tidbits.
Yes.
Do you post the replays anywhere? Can people find those or?
I usually share them with just the people that have registered. So
Okay.
that is something I need to work on.
Yeah.
I'm putting together my page with more detail on it rather than just the upcoming seminar.
Okay. Yeah. So at least register, find Kari's connection information and register, even if you can't make it live. That replay will be out there for folks to check out.
Yeah. And of
Wow.
course, I do have a initial call with people if people are interested in just hearing how I can work with them as a health coach. So whether it's just establishing healthier eating habits or, incorporating more movement into their daily routine or just get ongoing support and accountability, I do that as well. So I can share the link for that if people wanted to just chat with me and see how I can help them.
Perfect. Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing your wisdom and a little bit about your walking journey, your walk to wellness. And
Absolutely.
I look forward to seeing you all over on digital media. I know that you're expanding and that's evolving for you. And so continued success with that. That's a wrap. Here's my words of wisdom today. Remember that vitality is not just the art of living, but the art of being alive. We have such a short time here on earth. Make it the best time you can. Get vitality into your life, into your mind, into your body, into your spirit. And from my perspective, get it into your business. I think it's important. We affect the world with our businesses and the people that we serve. So vitality is really important. So let's have a conversation. If you are looking at the vitality of your business, if you'd like to discuss what that looks like, pop on over to my website, grab a 30-minute call with me. It's lisamosbey.com. That's Lisa, Mosbey.com. Click on the button that says book it and grab a time for us to chat. I do want to thank you again for letting me fulfill my purpose to advise, train, and come alongside you with simple solutions for life and business. And sometimes I offer a little advice. So come on back next week. We would love to be of service to you. Thanks for tuning in today.